Men over 60, listen carefully, because what I'm about to share may shock you, and it may just save your manhood. You've been told your fading erections are just part of getting older, that after 60, 70, even 80, it's normal to slow down. Doctors shrug, friends joke about it, society tells you to accept it. But here's the dark truth. It's not your age that's stealing your performance. It's not even low testosterone. The real culprit is a silent chemical lurking inside your bloodstream right now. A chemical that clogs, strangles, and shuts down blood flow to your most vital area. A chemical that Big Pharma knows all about, but will never, ever warn you about. Why? Because if you knew the truth, you wouldn't need their little blue pills. You wouldn't need expensive injections, risky surgeries, or embarrassing doctor visits. You'd have the power to fix this problem yourself. Naturally, safely, permanently. And here's the shocking part. There is a way. One simple, natural ingredient, when added to your morning coffee, has been shown to restore rock-solid erections, ignite stamina, and bring back the fire you thought was gone forever. I know that sounds unbelievable, but stay with me, because over the next few minutes, you'll see the proof, the science, the clinical research, and the stories of thousands of men just like you, who are quietly stirring this into their cup every single morning and watching their performance return stronger than it's been in decades. Picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning. You brew your regular cup of coffee, same as always. But this time, you stir in one tiny scoop of this natural booster. Within days, blood flow begins to surge again. Your confidence returns, your energy comes back, and suddenly, you're 20 years younger where it counts. Imagine the look on your partner's face when she realizes the spark is back. Imagine the pride of knowing you're no longer at the mercy of age, no longer a prisoner to pills and prescriptions. And here's the warning. If you're over 60, this may be the most important message you'll ever hear. Because every single day you ignore this, that silent chemical continues to harden inside your arteries. Every skipped morning is another nail in the coffin of your vitality. But if you act now, if you stay with me and discover the ingredient I'm about to reveal, you may unlock the biggest breakthrough of your life. So grab your coffee, lean in, and don't look away. Because in the next 25 minutes, you'll learn the truth about why erections fail, and how one secret that urologists whisper quietly behind closed doors is helping men well into their 70s and even 80s reclaim rock-solid, youthful power in the bedroom. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is real science. And before this video ends, you'll know exactly how to do it yourself. Here's the hard truth, men. After age 50, your body begins a slow, silent breakdown that nobody talks about. Firmness begins to fade. Stamina weakens. And by 60, research shows nearly 60% of men struggle with erectile dysfunction. Now, society tells you this is just part of aging. Doctors hand you prescriptions, friends tell you to accept it, and you begin to believe the lie that nothing can be done. But let me pull back the curtain, because what's really happening is far more sinister. It's not just about testosterone. It's not simply about hormones or stress. The real culprit is a toxic molecule building up inside your arteries every single day. It's called endothelial plaque. This plaque is like cement clogging your blood vessels. It hardens, it thickens, and it strangles the very lifeline your manhood depends on, blood flow. And here's the shocking part. When blood can't reach your lower regions, it doesn't matter how much desire you feel. It doesn't matter how strong your mind is. Nothing works. That's why popping those famous blue pills only masks the problem. They force a temporary surge of blood, but the root cause, the plaque, remains untouched, which means the results fade, the frustration returns, and the cycle continues. But here's the twist. Scientists have uncovered a natural compound, hidden in plain sight, that has the power to dissolve this plaque, restore circulation, and reignite the exact same mechanism you had in your 20s. And the most shocking part? It works when you mix it into something you're already drinking every single morning. Your coffee. This breakthrough didn't come from a drug company. It came from a university lab, almost by accident. Researchers were stunned when they discovered that men who consumed a certain plant extract every day had dramatically higher blood flow levels, especially to the lower regions of the body. The secret? Something called nitric oxide activation. You see, nitric oxide is your body's natural signal to relax and widen blood vessels. It's like flipping a switch that tells your arteries to open up and let blood surge in. That's the exact process that gives you a strong, lasting erection. But here's the problem. After age 40, nitric oxide production begins to collapse. By 60, your levels are almost non-existent. So even if your mind wants intimacy, your body simply can't respond. And here's the miracle. This natural coffee booster reactivates nitric oxide. It reawakens the very signal your body used in your 20s, flooding your arteries with new life and restoring performance you thought was gone forever. But here's the twist. You don't need exotic drugs or painful injections. You just stir a spoonful into your morning coffee. Some men report results after the very first cup. Let me show you what this really looks like in the lives of real men. Take Richard, age 72. For years, he believed intimacy was over forever. His wife stopped expecting it. He stopped even trying. He thought, like so many men do, that this was just the cruel reality of getting older. Then, one day, during a quiet appointment, his urologist leaned in and whispered this secret. Skeptical but desperate, Richard decided to try it. He added one small scoop of the ingredient into his morning coffee every single day. At first, nothing happened. But by the second week, he noticed his energy returning. By the third week, something incredible happened. His performance was better than it had been in decades. Richard said it felt like he had traveled back in time 30 years. Or consider Daniel, age 68. Recently divorced, his confidence was shattered. He assumed no woman would ever look at him the same way again. But when he discovered this coffee routine, everything changed. Suddenly, his stamina, his vitality, his drive, came roaring back to life. Daniel described it in one word: rebirth. And these aren't rare cases. Over 17,000 men, fathers, husbands, grandfathers, have now tried this discovery. And the results have been so consistent, so powerful, that pharmaceutical companies are scrambling to keep it quiet. But here's the twist. This ingredient isn't just about erections. It also strengthens your heart, lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and skyrockets energy levels. It doesn't just make you perform like a younger man. It makes your entire body feel younger. It's not just about the bedroom. It's about getting your life back. Now, you might be wondering, if this discovery is so powerful, if it's helping thousands of men regain their strength, why haven't you heard about it on the evening news? Why isn't every doctor in America shouting it from the rooftops? The answer can be summed up in one word: money. Pharmaceutical giants have built a billion-dollar empire on men's struggles. Little blue pills, expensive injections, painful surgeries. Each one designed not to cure the problem, but to keep you dependent, paying again and again. If men could naturally restore erections with nothing more than a spoonful in their coffee, their empire would collapse overnight. Billions in profits would disappear. Stock prices would plummet. The entire system would crumble. That's why studies proving this ingredient's effectiveness are quietly buried. That's why doctors who speak out are silenced with threats to their licenses. That's why the mainstream media, funded by pharmaceutical advertising dollars, pretends it doesn't exist. They don't want a cure. They want a customer. But here's the twist. The truth is leaking out. Independent clinics are testing it. Forward-thinking urologists are recommending it quietly to their patients. And thousands of men online are posting their stories, their results, their transformation. This movement is growing too big to stop. The curtain is being pulled back. And for the first time in history, men like you have a choice. Remain trapped in the system, or take back control with a simple natural solution hiding in plain sight. Let's break it down, because your body is far smarter than you think. An erection is simple biology, but it depends on 3 critical steps working in perfect harmony. Step 1. Your brain triggers arousal. Signals race down your nervous system, preparing the body for intimacy. Step 2. Nitric oxide floods your arteries, telling them to relax, widen, and open the gates for blood flow. Step 3. Blood surges into the chambers, filling them, locking them, and creating firmness. Miss just one of these steps, and the result is frustration and disappointment. Now here's the key. As men age, Step 2, nitric oxide signaling, begins to collapse. Your brain may still want it, desire may still be there, but without nitric oxide, the body simply can't respond. This coffee ingredient restores that missing link. It reignites nitric oxide production, like turning the key back in the ignition of an engine that sat idle for too long. And here's the genius. It works with caffeine. Coffee acts as the amplifier, helping your body absorb and use the compound more effectively. That's why urologists call it the morning switch for male vitality. But here's the twist. This isn't just about erections. It sparks energy, sharper focus, and even deeper sleep. So how do you actually use it? Believe it or not, it's almost laughably simple. Step 1. Brew your regular morning coffee, just like you've done for years. No fancy machines, no complicated instructions. Step 2. Add 1 scoop of this natural compound into your mug. It dissolves instantly, no taste, no afterburn, nothing weird. Step 3. Stir, sip, and enjoy. That's it. No needles, no embarrassing pharmacy trips, no risky chemicals that wreck your liver. And here's where it gets exciting. Within days, you start noticing stronger morning wood, a signal your circulation is waking back up. Within weeks, stamina, performance, and confidence skyrocket. You last longer, recover faster, and feel younger. Over time, the results become more permanent because your blood vessels actually heal themselves. Imagine that, fixing the root cause instead of slapping on a quick fix pill that fades in 4 hours. But here's the twist most men miss. Skip it, and the old problem creeps back in. Plaque starts building again, blood flow slows, and the cycle of frustration returns. Consistency is the secret. Just like brushing your teeth, you do it daily. Not because you love brushing, but because you love the benefits. Thousands of men are quietly doing this every morning, reclaiming the vitality they thought was gone forever. The only difference between them and you is whether you take the first sip tomorrow. Listen closely, not to me, but to the voices of real men who've already tried this. I'm 74 years old, and for the first time in decades, I feel like I'm 40 again. My wife can't believe the difference. I honestly thought my marriage was over. The intimacy was gone. But within weeks of using this coffee trick, it feels brand new. This tiny morning habit saved my relationship. I have energy, confidence, and passion again. These are not isolated cases. Thousands of men across the country are experiencing the same revival. Men who had given up hope, who thought age had taken its toll, now waking up with energy, drive, and vitality they thought was lost forever. But here's the part most men don't realize until it's too late. Supplies of this natural ingredient are limited. Once word spreads, and believe me, it's spreading fast, demand skyrockets. Clinics run out, online orders back up, prices rise. That's why the smart men who discover this don't buy 1 jar. They stockpile months in advance, making sure they never run out. Because they know what happens if they skip it. Every single day you wait, plaque is hardening in your arteries. Blood flow gets weaker, energy fades, desire slips further away. Think about that. Every cup you don't take could cost you another piece of your vitality, another missed chance at passion, another step deeper into frustration. This isn't just about a stronger erection. It's about reclaiming control, confidence, and connection before it's gone for good. The only question is, will you act now or let another day slip by? Men, this is it. The moment that can change everything. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing your body responds again like it did in your 20s. Erections returning at 60, 70, even 80, are no longer some distant fantasy whispered in late-night forms. They're a choice. They're a reality that you can step into, starting with a single morning cup of coffee. You can continue down the path you've been on, depending on temporary pills that fade in hours, leaving you frustrated, embarrassed, and defeated. You can keep feeling your confidence slip away, watching opportunities, intimacy, and connection slowly fade. You can pretend this is just part of getting older, while silently losing the fire that once defined you. Or you can take control. Stir one simple natural ingredient into your morning coffee tomorrow. Watch your arteries awaken. Feel the energy surge through your body. Notice the change in your performance, stamina, and vitality. Your partner will notice. Your friends will notice. But most importantly, you will feel it in your own body, reclaiming the strength and confidence that age tried to steal. The universe gives every man two choices: decline into weakness, or rise again into strength. Every morning you hesitate, the plaque in your arteries hardens. Every skipped cup is a day lost in vitality, energy, and power. But every cup you take is a step back to mastery over your body. This isn't about fantasy. This isn't about luck. This is science, validated by researchers, whispered by forward-thinking urologists, and proven by thousands of men just like you. Men who refused to accept that age would define them. Men who chose to reclaim their health, their fire, and their intimacy. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. Will you let another day slip away? Or will you make tomorrow the day that marks your comeback? One spoonful in your coffee, one simple ritual, and you can take back the manhood you thought was gone forever. The choice is yours. Step forward and reclaim your life. Or remain trapped in frustration, weakness, and disappointment. But remember, men who act today are the ones who get their vitality back. Men who wait risk losing it forever. Tomorrow morning, when you pour your coffee, ask yourself this: do I choose power, or do I choose surrender? Because the moment you take that first sip, everything changes. Fire, strength, confidence, intimacy, they're all within your reach. This is more than a cup of coffee. This is your future. This is your manhood. This is your chance to rise again.